What's up? It's your boy Big G coming at you again with yet another video. I'd like to thank everybody for riding with your boy, walking with me through these stories as I remember them, and I hope it enlightens you and does something for you positive in your life. Thank you for subscribing to your boy page. It's growing slowly but surely. I'm not a powerhouse like everybody else, but I'm gonna get there. Just to let you know, I got my book out. It's called Corruption Officer. And it's about me and my life as a Rikers Island correction officer that end up hustling inside the jail. Everything you heard in the news about Rikers Island, that was your boy. And then I became an inmate myself, and I had to go up north as a correction officer. Came back, wrote my book about myself and what I did. This is a me story. You know what I'm saying, about my life. It's a good book. You need to check it out. It's on Amazon. Go check your boy out. Throughout my whole experience as a correction officer, life don't change when you put this badge on. I mean, whatever you going through in life personally, it's still going to be there once you put this badge on. If you're a weed smoker, you're going to try to sneak and still sell weed. Smoke weed. If you got financial problems, it's still going to be the same. So just because you become a correction officer, life be life and stuff just don't stop. The normal stuff that you got going on, the job is supposed to, just like any other job, if you make more money or you being a CEO better your life than what you was doing before that, you're supposed to take that money and change the circumstances in your life. So me, growing up in the polar grounds, running around at a young age, I learned about shooting dice and gambling and hanging out. I wasn't much of a drug user or stuff like that, and I'm not going to sit here in front like I was one of the dudes on the block that was hustling, because I wasn't. Now, I didn't start selling drugs and getting to a life of crime until I became law enforcement. I know it's crazy, but that's the way things went for me. Like I said, I didn't walk into the jail just saying, listen, let me get the correction officer job so I could go in there and sell drugs. I knew nothing about that. I was blue, I just wanted to get a job to do better, to help my family improve my circumstances. But life be life. Like I said, at a young age, about 14, 15 years old, about me and 5 of my friends went into the gambling spot. Now, if you know anything about shooting dice and shooting CeeLo, individuals being there, they have, I'm not going to go into the whole game of CeeLo. I'm just going to put it like this. All of us combined put all our money to bet one bet, right? And that's how young we was. So we started like $5 or $10. And we ran that bad boy up to like $700. You couldn't tell us that shooting dice wasn't the way of the world. You couldn't tell us that every day we was in an exit, playing chuck-a-luck, we was shooting dice, we were playing cards. At a young age, I learned to gamble, put it that way. So now I'm a CEO and I'm making a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So I go into the gambling spot. And your boy is so addicted to gambling that I had a blue windbreaker on and my correction officer uniform under the blue windbreaker because I had to go to work the next day. So here I go. I'm shooting dice, gambling, and I'm on a bit of a win streak. I'm winning. I'm winning. Then I look at my watch and it was like, oh, this is it. I got to be at work in like 20 minutes. So I stop gambling. I bounce and I go to work. So at this time, I'm working in the Tombs. It's called the Manhattan House in New York City. So I'm in there working and I'm the guy, my post for that day was when inmates first get locked up and they come in, I'm the one that checks them in. Is in the receiving room. So I'm the one with the clipboard, getting their name and their ID and all kind of stuff, making sure they take everything out their pocket, everything, their whole belongings and everything is right there. So I'm checking them in. As I'm checking people in, you know what I'm saying? Because let me rewind. I'm gambling and I'm drinking and I'm still drunk because I left the gambling spot to jet to work. Even though I was on a win streak, I was kind of mad that day because I could have really cracked them up in the gambling spot. So now I'm checking people in. So As I'm checking in, I said name. I'm not even looking up because this is so routine. Name, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm writing on my clipboard. So I get a name. I write it down. I look up. I do a double take because it's the guy that I was gambling against just a couple, about 2-3 hours ago in the gambling spot. He looking at me. I'm looking at him. He looking at me. Up and down. I'm looking at him. Up and down. So I give him the, right? So basically, what happened when I left the gambling spot got raided. It happens. I should be in the gambling spot all the time. About 2-3 times, gambling spot get raided. Everybody up against the wall and everything. The cop come to me and search me. I kindly just ease my badge out, show him my badge, put it back in my pocket. He do some fake, okay, I'm going to take this one, this one going first, and he take me downstairs out the gambling spot, let me go. The badge did a lot for me. I'm letting you know. The boy was running around with a gun and a badge in the hood, so you already know what it is. So, the gambling spot get raided. I didn't know, but later on I found out the gambling spot get raided. And normally when they raid the gambling spot, all they give you is a trespassing summons. If you got a little warrant or desk appearance already, then they bring you down. So obviously, homeboy had a desk appearance that he didn't make or whatever case may be. So long story short, he was in shock that I was a CEO, because I'm telling you, a lot of people in the gambling spot know, some people didn't. Some people just came in there and gamble, and I'm not ratting nobody up. All walks of life be in the gambling spot. Trust me. It's like playing them numbers. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. So now I do his paperwork. I talked to the clerk because I worked there. Cool. She called him first, and he was able to get out of there. But the funny thing was, I still had this. I think I won like $6,000 from him. I still had his money in my pocket. And that's why he kept on staring at me. I saw him a couple of days later. It was funny and everything, because that's when he found out that I was a correction officer. So now I'm working. I'm drunk, hungover. I'm working with my man Johnny. Me and him chilling and everything. So now I'm working in the pens. The pens is where everybody go when they're waiting to go see the judge. You know what I'm saying? Like they tell you, don't get arrested on Friday, because at the time it wasn't no weekend court or nothing like that. So you're going to be in there for 3 days till Monday. So now the procedures in the pen is everybody's packed on top of everybody. Sometimes you got to put them in there. It's supposed to be a statute of limitation about how many inmates is supposed to be in the pen. But sometimes if we ain't got no room, you got to make do. Lay on the floor next to somebody you don't know, bums from the street, people who got expensive clothes on and everything. And the number one thing is, don't take a number 2 in the toilet, my guy. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing, everybody's going to hold theirs for 3 days. So the thing is, this is the routine. You got 30, 40 people in the pen. You give them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? A lot of times, it's just a milk carton, a carton of milk and a cold sandwich. Bologna, whatever. That's it. That's what you're getting. Sometimes, listen, they be fighting over them sandwiches, because sometimes when people get arrested, they, is it recidivism? I don't even know the word. Recidivism is when the inmate keep coming back and forth to jail. I'm going to educate myself later on. So basically what it is some of these guys, when they come to jail, that's the best sleep they get. They know they're going to get 3 meals. You know what I'm saying? So they'll eat that sandwich and that milk and everything. When you're looking at that sandwich and milk in disgust, you just want to see the judge and get up out of there. So now I'm in there, and I'm drunk. My man Johnny, he halfway. I thought at the time he was doing something else besides drinking. But anyway, so we in there and we half-assed doing the job, and we counting the inmates and everything, and we giving them their sandwich. Now the way it's supposed to go is, even if you don't want your milk in your sandwich, you got to get up, come over, and take it. Now, you can give it away. You can throw it in the garbage. You can do what you want to do. But the thing is, you get up because we got to look at you, make sure you're all right. Nobody, because the pens be crowded. Nobody pokes you or stab, because things could go on in that pen that we can't even see. Next thing you know, you see somebody laid out, stabbed up in there, and then you got to get them to the hospital. So that's the routine. 3 times a day, you get them up and you count. As you give them the sample, you count it. Boom, 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 boom. And you're making sure that your count is correct. So I'm hungover. So my man told me, listen, Go on one of them back pens, way in the back. Get yourself some, ain't nothing hopping over there. I got this. Boom. So I go in the back. Next thing I know, here come Officer Tracy, female. And us, where we work at, we know Officer Tracy, female. You know what I'm saying? The word is that she can gargle cold peanut butter. I was like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she came back there. So basically, like, a lot of times when the post is supposed to be made by two people, but if it's not nothing really going on, nobody's making it's not a rough day where you got to constantly be fights and breaking out and stuff like that, one person can hold it down, right? So I'm back there, Tracy back there. You know what I'm saying? She hungover. I like the fact that she was hungover because I'm going to see if the legend is true. Basically, we get to doing what we doing, right? So I'm leaning over outside the pen. My man giving me the, you good, right? So back. So now I'm doing what I'm doing with her. You know what I'm saying? She all right with it. I'm all right with it. She take care of your boy. You know what I'm saying? The legend is true. She's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So now, while that's going on, after I finish, I hear loud noises up to the front. So I get myself together. I go up the front. She never even come out from going. She just slumped over and went back to sleep, put her feet up on one of them benches that we was on and went to sleep. So now I go up to the front. Of course, there's somebody arguing, fighting because another dude needs to take a number 2. And he's like, you're not shitting here. You're not doing that here. So it's like, out of courtesy, we don't have to. We could take him and put him in another pen where we really ain't got nobody in there and let them do their thing. We don't really have to. Sometimes, depending on the officer, you're going to eat, sit, sleep right there in that pen in front of everybody. So now I noticed when I got there, it was like people piled up on one another, sleeping and stuff like that. And it was this particular gentleman that I saw sleeping that I never remember him getting his peanut butter sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So I asked my man about him. They said, you know, they knew his name. That's such and such. He come in here all the time. He's one of those inmates or detainees that purposely commit little petty crimes so he can get arrested. So they know him by name. So he over there knocked out sleep down there under one of the benches. No problem. So I do my tour and I bounce. Mind you, like I said, you get arrested on a Friday, you might not see the judge until Monday. I check, doing my thing, living life and everything, so I come back to work on a Monday. When I come back to work, I'm back in the same place, this and that. I'm working and everything, counting the inmates' name, this and that, giving them their little milk and their little, sandwich or whatever. And I do my 8 hours. I still see the inmates, all of them there, and I still see the bum that was laying there. He's still in the same position this now. I think, matter of fact, he done peed on himself, and people didn't want to lay next to him and stuff like that. Cool. I'm about to leave. As I sign out and leave, it's not an alarm like normally you get an alarm when inmates are fighting, and you got to run over there and see why they fighting and everything. It's not one of those. It's just a large skirmings of captains and officers and everybody running to the intake area. So I'm like, what happened? What happened? Now I'm off the clock. I go back in to try to find out what happened. I'm like, what happened? Like somebody got stabbed? Somebody, I just left here. You know what I'm saying? So when I go in there, I see them go over to the bum that was laying there. He been there, I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? And they turn him over, and he's stiff as a board. Blue rigor mortis, because it was a white guy. Rigor mortis set in, and his hands were still like this to his face. And, it's not comical, but, a person who's stiff, their body, I guess, locked in the same position. And when they rolled him over, I just looked, and he was all blue on the face on one side, and his hands was even blue. And all of a sudden, medical people come rushing in, and you get out the way, and I guess they try to do what they wanted to do. At that point, I left, and then I heard later on, that he had passed away. So now the question was, how long was he dead, who was on tour. My name was, everybody was who was on post and who didn't do the job and this, that, because like I said, you're supposed to make sure that they wake up, whether they want it or not. You're supposed to wake them up so they can get the purpose is, we don't care if you eat the sandwich or the milk at all, is that you're alive and well and that you got your sandwich. And I think because this dude normally was like a revolving door and everything, and the judge normally just let him go, he come right back a month later, this and that, or get arrested from being somewhere where he wasn't. I mean, I really don't know the situation. I don't know if he had family or not or something like that. But yeah, that inmate passed away that day, and that was like kind of like crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Really seeing something like that up close. Now, I don't see bodies. Growing up in polo grounds, I don't see a lot of dead bodies. Being in the military, I don't see a lot of dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? Even working in Rikers Island, I don't definitely see a lot of dead bodies. So, I'm not saying I got PTSD or something like that, but it's still eerie to me when you, like, no matter who it is, when you just see somebody that was alive and then they deceased. Like, I was just talking to them, or I just saw such and such and this and that. So it still, affects me to this day when it happened, even though, I could be in a room with a dead body with no problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess we all grown up in the neighborhoods and things that we seen got a little bit PTSD in us, where it's a normal, it's not really sometimes a shock value when we see somebody deceased or somebody in the street or somebody dies. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Big G. Here's another story about your mans and one of my adventures of being a correction officer, witnessing things in the tombs of Rikers Island and all over. I got more stories to tell you. It's your mans in them, and I'm out.